Oh. Oh, okay, then. Just keep drinking, man. I'm mashing the item button. Welcome back to another episode of my Elden Ring Let's Play. Last time I died a lot and got eye lasers. And this time, we're going to finish climbing this cliff face and get to the Altus Plateau. And hopefully get my weapon of choice for this build. I'll have to upgrade that at some point because I don't want to be stuck using only the twin blade. So convenient of you to fly at knife height. Eye lasers. It's a good thing we have them, because there are going to be a lot of flying enemies in this area. Though I think I'll probably just end up running past most of them. Right. Alright, well, let's bring out the boys. Oh, it pierces. That's good to know. There we go. Grab these. So I think, yeah, I always thought it was weird how small this area is, and yet you can summon the spirit ashes for it. But, you know, whatever. Can't leave that smithing stone there. Since I'm not able to buy them yet, you gotta pick them up when you can. So, down there you can see the entrance to the Grand Lift. So that's the safe way to the Altus Plateau. And then maybe I'll take it next time, but like I said, I'm taking the fun route this way. Oh! Alright, I did not know they could do that. Good to know. Well, it's a good thing I leveled up last time. I'm just gonna... reallocate my flasks a bit. I don't need quite that much healing. Alright. So I think this time I actually am going to run through because I don't want to deal with any of those enemies. Oh, I missed that. Alright. You know, for flying enemies, they don't really have a good concept of height, which is kind of funny. I don't know why I didn't come in with this. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't just bring my mace out last time. That was way easier than last time, where I just ran through and died. So this time I think I'm going to summon the boys. And do this. There we go. Yeah, who knew if you bring the weapon that has the ability to ground flying enemies, that fighting flying enemies would be so much easier. Alright, and then here's the boss. So I don't think I've fought one of these yet. No, I haven't. I haven't fought one of these yet. This is going to be a magma worm. Is basically a dragon. I'm gonna try him solo first, and if that doesn't go well, I'll summon our friend here. Actually, you know what? I am going to summon the friend here regardless, because he's kind of cool. And we'll be seeing him later at Radon's fight. He's got a big ass hammer, and that's always fun. And he gives you a cool gesture. So I don't think my Frenzied Burst is going to do a whole lot of damage on account of, you know, this guy being a dragon. And thus resistant to fire. But you never know. Ow. Tragoth. Ah, I miss. That feels like it shouldn't have hit me. Alright, let's try this again. I don't think it'll do a lot of damage. Nope. Straight up more effective to just hit him with my mace. Let's reapply Blood Flame. That's my fault. God bless Bleed. That... Alright, I feel like you can't blame me for that, given how quickly he changed targets. You know? Like, that was a full 80-degree turn. Let's try again. Get out of his way. Let him throw his little tantrum. Oh, and he's doing it again. Cool. Man, I sure love this attack that like takes up the entire arena and makes it so you can't step in certain parts of it. Nice. Oh, this is going much better. Get a little extra damage in. There we go. You know, I've never looked at that weapon seriously. Yeah. Probably not going to use it. Actually, you know what? I think I'm liking the mace more. And it's not like it's going to matter in the long run since I'm about to get my my weapon that I intend to use till the end game. Anywho, we are now in the final stages of approaching the Altus Plateau. Once we reach the top of this elevator, we'll have reached one of the real endgame areas. Well, not real. There's still like a couple other, but we've gained access to another couple areas here, and we can use Torrent again, so that's neat. So, off the bat, there are a couple things we can do here, but the first one is going to be getting a map. So let's ride like the wind and just ignore all these fine fellows. Speaking of fine fellows that we're going to ignore, don't worry, we'll fight him later, probably. But even if we were to fight him here, we wouldn't be able to kill him because he runs away when you get him down to half health. So there's no point in fighting him in this location. So we're just going to ignore him and get this second side of grace over here. And there's also a golden tree over there, which will give us another way to upgrade our flasks. And then here comes the fun part of running through this convoy. It's kind of hard to showcase where we're gonna go, where I want to go, because I don't have a map yet. So that's why current modus operandi is to go get a map. And unfortunately that involves riding through here. And over here we see the Grand Lift of Dectus, which is the quote-unquote proper means of reaching the Altus Plateau. There's even a cutscene for it. And I could have taken that path because I have both of the Dectus medallion halves, but I figured it'd be more fun if I climbed up a mine shaft. And you know it was. I died a couple times, I killed a dragon. It was all good. And it's not like I can't take the elevator again at some later point. Alright. Let's go get us that map, shall we? Getting the map is pretty easy. You just ride along the road. So, on our right, you'll see a giant wall, castle area. So that is an area we'll be going to later, but I don't see the reason to go to it now, since nothing of what I need is inside. Or rather, nothing of what I need that I can access is currently inside. So for now, we're just going to ignore that. Grab this side of grace. Grab that golden seed that's over there, and grab the map. And then I'll mark out the locations of interest. Although if I'm being completely honest, really what we're going to do is we're going to ride through here, grab the map, grab my weapon, and then we're going to hoof it back and fight Radahn. Because if I'm being completely honest, I legitimately think that I do not have the stats required to properly set foot in this area at the moment. Alright, no enemies, so that means I can whip out the map and show where we're going, but just in case. So, here we have the map of one part of the Altus Plateau, as you can see, right here. So, we're here. Locations of interest. You can't see it over here because I have to get the Volcano Manor map, which is a whole other thing that I'll have to deal with. But locations of interest are here, would be this and this, because they offer flask upgrades. And also there's an NPC invader over here that we'll deal with. This mine, which lets us, which gives us an item that will let us buy the upgrades for somber smithing stone weapons. Let's see, am I correct? And there's another mine over in this section of the map that will let us buy even further upgrades for non-standard upgrade weapons. So we'll come back for those at some point. But for now, I'm just going to go over here, grab the weapon, upgrade as much as I can, do a drive-by of those flasks. So I think it's here, here, and then the weapon is here, I believe. It's not necessarily in that order, but we are going to visit those locations. And then we're going to hoof it back to fight Radahn, because at this point I'll have gotten everything that I can reasonably get. And I at this point I straight up just need stats. Like, that's it. My health is not as high as it should be. I think I need a couple more points to even wield the weapon that I'm going to be getting. It's a whole mess. So, but thankfully, since this is the last thing that I can get without having to beat a Shardbearer, that means that going forward it'll be pretty straightforward. We beat Radon, and then we can get a whole load of other things that are really useful. Or rather, the world opens up to us. Like, I get an easy way to grind for easy way to grind for runes. I get the last couple pieces of equipment, kind of, and you know, I just straight up get a lot of runes from beating Radon. So this is just a shortcut. Let's basically skip this whole forested area, which is good because there isn't really anything in there that I need, and there isn't really anything in there that I want to interact with at the moment. Unfortunately, there's not a site of grace that is an easy reach of this location. Well, I mean, it's down there, but this drop could be fatal if you're bad at judging your distance, which I have been in the past. Fall damage in Elden Ring is really screwed up, because the way it works is you don't take fall damage until you fell a certain height, and that certain height is 16 meters. So you don't take any fall damage until you've fallen at least 16 meters. But there's also a kill height, as in, like, a height where once you fall that distance, you die no matter what. And that distance is 20 meters. So there is a 4-meter window where you can take damage without dying. And otherwise you just straight up die. So I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, those ruins up ahead are where my weapon is. And I have to equip this specific art. Now we're just going to ignore the enemies of this location, because you can just kind of go in and they can't really stop you. Alright. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to summon the boys, and I'm just going to let them do all the work. Because this guy staggers really easy. Of course, what kind of host would I be if I didn't at least help out, you know? Also, he does a lot of damage. So, the weapon I'm gonna get for letting my boys do the work is his rapier. There we go. So yeah, the marionettes are really helpful for that boss because they just stagger him to Kingdom Come. And with that, we have the last piece of equipment that I need for this build. And if I'm correct, I don't have the stats to wield it. Nope. I need 2 more levels. At least 2 more levels. Yep. But the good news is, after I get those 2 levels, I'll be able to just use it however I want. And now that we have the last piece of equipment here, we can just go grab those those tiers, those flask upgrades, and be on our way out of this area that I have no right being in, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think I have this. Oh, I do. Okay, so that'll be my last point in strength. I know I have a bunch of high rarity rune items, but I don't think they give me enough. Nope. So we're just going to go grab those flask upgrades and be on our way out of the Altus. You know, actually, I'm going to go grab the other map fragment, because that should be pretty easy to get. I just have to ride past some dudes. And I'll get to expound a bit more. So, if you'll remember a couple episodes ago, I defeated the Tree Sentinel. And so, okay, right. So the entrances to the capital city are heavily guarded. One side is guarded by these ballistas, which is fun to dodge. And the other side is guarded by a pair of tree sentinels. And in order to beat them, you have to kill them both. Thankfully, there's a way where you can fight them one at a time. But they're also just straight up stronger than the tree sentinel in the first area. Which means that I, again, do not have the ability to fight them because my health isn't as high as I want it to be. Which will thankfully not be a concern for that much longer, because once I get this last level, I'll be able to wield my weapon of choice. And once I'm able to wield my weapon of choice, I can just start dumping stats into health. But in the meantime, we're just going to grab a couple of things here and then be on our way to fight Radon. Because unless you want to watch me suffer, I don't think there's a way or a reason for me to reasonably be expected to continue surviving in the Altus Plateau. I don't know. I'll give it a shot. You know what? How about that? Split the difference. I'll give it a shot. I haven't given any of these enemies a serious thought at the moment, so I'll give it a shot and see if it goes. Ooh, if this is what I think it is. Alright, bucko. Yes! Alright, so that is a fun Ash of War that I'll show you as soon as I grab the flask upgrade, because it is surrounded by hard enemies that I don't feel like fighting at the moment. There we go. Can't make that drop. Can't make that drop. Can I teleport? Yes. So we're going to go upgrade the flask, and then we're going to grab the last flask upgrade, and probably die to an invader. And then I'll decide to go from there.
The Earth Tree, only a little it takes me. I was born, her mother gave, so now the reason.
Yep. So the flasks go up to a total of plus 12, I believe. And this last upgrade will bring it mine up to plus 10. Unfortunately, the last two upgrades aren't available until after I have beaten Morgott, which is an enemy you can only fight after having obtained 2 Great Runes. So we're not going to be getting them anytime soon. But in the meantime, let's give this guy an honest try. There's our old friend Shura. He's dead. We get his cool sword. And then that spawns. Alright, that's not as much damage as I thought it was, so this is definitely doable. You know, assuming I can hit them. Well, it's a good thing I was out of range. Well, now I'm going to take increased damage and also not do as much damage. So that's fun. This is like the most obnoxious fight I have had thus far. Ducked under my mace swing. Oh, cool. Your attack dog is here. Does this hit? It does. Man, why wasn't I doing this earlier? That is some absurd range, but whatever, I got what I came for. We can fight them later. Yeah, I'll come back later. I got what I went there for initially, and don't worry, we will come back later, because beating that enemy gives me an item that I need to fight another boss. But for now, we're just gonna ride past all these guys, because that's the cool thing about Dark Souls games, is that you can literally run through them and ignore 90% of the enemies, and as long as you know how to fight the bosses, you're good. Like, there are very few non-boss enemies that you actually have to go out of your way to fight. The rest can be pretty much ignored, no problem. Like, even those archers. Now, here are gonna come up some fun guys to ignore. Thankfully, a cool thing about their AI is once they aggro on you, they'll ride over to you, and then they'll do a little gesture like that. And that gives you enough time to ride past them. And once I get a certain distance through this gate, they'll de-aggro as well. There we go. 2 more golden seeds for the collection. And a map fragment. And like that, we have this area of the map completed. So, like I said, we will be coming back here later. But for now, we're just going to ignore it because I don't feel like dealing with them. We can go to this mine or this mine to get items that let me upgrade. But that doesn't really matter, because at the moment I have no runes. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can't upgrade my stuff, my flasks, because that doesn't require any runes. There we go. One more health for the health gods. So with that, I think I'm going to end this episode here. And next time, we're going to fight Radon. And I'll finally be able to use the weapon that I have been spent this entire playthrough building up to. And before then, I'll do some inventory management. So yeah. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.